In this video we'll be trying to brute force the usernames. So let's try first admin and admin as a default credentials. So let's try to log in. So it says invalid username. So this is some kind of good notification for anyone want to enumerate the users. If you submit the wrong credentials, the web server should say invalid login or login failed, but instead it says invalid username. So that means what we can know from this message is the password maybe or something. So it's first validating the username, and the web server failed to validate username. It is sending this message invalid username. So I can say text69 and it says invalid username. So by this message an attacker can put the same password and multiple usernames to brute force for the usernames. So let's type admin and let's capture this request and the burp suit, intercept on and click on submit. So send this to repeater and send this also to intruder. So clear our markers. Now I'm going to use a word list called top usernames shortlist.txt. So you can Google for seclist GitHub repository. In that you will find many word list for the usernames and passwords and default ones, etc. So we can just copy this one, and now let's go to burp suit and add the username marker, add this, and at the payloads click on paste. Now simply start the attack and click on OK. So the default length is 2291. And for the puppet user we got the different response length. So let's go and see the response. Invalid password for the user puppet. So there is a puppet user and you can put the puppet username fixed and you can iterate over the password list. So this typical behavior is still shown in the WordPress websites. If you have a look at the WordPress admin login page, if you type normal admin, it says invalid username like that. So this is one of the bad message. So the username and the password both should validate at the same time, and it should send the message like login failed. It's like a general error, not to specify whether it's invalid username or the invalid password. So we can also use the Python for brute forcing. So let's go to repeater, and I think this is using just in the get request. You can see in the URL there are parameters. So what we can do is let's import request URL. So put the full URL here, and what we need to brute force is this one, admin1. So put the placeholder there. Now what we need to do is we need to read the file, that is top usernames shortlist.txt. So let's say file descriptor is equals to open this file and open in the read mode. So I can say word list is equals to fd.read. Okay, so if I just print the word list, and also I need to close the file. So let's go and run this. So we get all the users, but it will be printing like a single variable. I don't want that. So what I want to do is I want to split this on the based on the new line. So the root there is a username and /n. So /n is the new line, and based on this new line this list can be split into the single words. So let's go and say usernames is equals to list of, and what you need to do, word list dot split. So you need to split based on the new line, that is selection. Now if I go and print the usernames, now let's run this again, and you can see we got the list, and in that list we have the all the usernames. So this will be very useful for us, and we can simply put in this placeholder. So we have the usernames, so we need to iterate over the all the usernames for I in usernames. So for every iteration I takes the value first root and then admin and then test, etc., up to all the elements in the list. So in this URL we need to send in the I. So here username is equals to here, so we can just say dot format of I. So we have the URL ready. All we need to do is we need to send the request dot post of URL. I think that's the one. So there is no data, or there are no any extra headers. Post of URL and receive the r.text. So while receiving, what you need to do is you need to filter for the responses that does not contain invalid username. So what you can do is you can just simply copy this, copy, and if invalid username not in r.text, so r.text holds the response of this request, and if there is no invalid username in this response, so that means found user and the username, and we can say dot format of I. So I is the usernames. We are iterating and finding the correct response among it. I think this should do fine. Let's go and run this. And you can see we got the result found user puppet. So the same result we got from the burp suite.